All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, let's talk about something that should be on every cloud admin's mind. How are you really securing access to your virtual machines? Because, if you're not careful, it's like leaving the digital front door wide open for attackers. So let's dive in and figure out how to lock it down for good.
Okay, let's just get right to it. I want you to think about your own setup for just a second. How are your teams connecting to your Azure servers, like right now? Are they using RDP or SSH straight over a public IP? If you're nodding your head yes right now, well, you could be facing a much bigger risk than you think.
And let's be super clear here. This isn't just some small configuration mistake. It's a massive, blinking red light on your security dashboard. Why is that, you ask? Well, it's because these management ports are just total low-hanging fruit for attackers. You've got automated bots constantly scanning the internet looking for these exact open doors, just waiting for a way in. Seriously, it's one of the most common ways breaches kick off.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Check this out. This is a direct quote from Microsoft's own documentation. They literally call it a significant threat surface. When the company that actually builds the platform warns you this directly, that's a pretty clear signal that we should all be paying attention. So, what's the fix?
Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. You just stop exposing those ports directly. And the tool Azure gives us for this exact problem is called Bastion. The best way to think about it is like a secure gatehouse for your virtual network. A single, hardened entry point that everyone has to go through first. And the best part? It's basically a jump server, but it's fully managed for you by Azure. No fuss.
Now, that key phrase right there is fully managed PaaS service. And what that really means for you and me is simple. You don't have to build a jump box. You don't have to patch it. You don't have to harden it. Azure takes care of all that grunt work behind the scenes. You get secure access right from your browser. And here's the kicker. Your actual virtual machines, they no longer need a public IP address at all.
Okay, so how does this actually work in practice? What does it look like? Believe it or not, the whole process is surprisingly simple. You just log into the Azure portal, same as always. From there, your browser connects to the Bastion service over a standard encrypted web connection, that's TLS by the way. Then Bastion, which is already sitting securely inside your private network, it goes ahead and opens the RDP or SSH session directly to your VM's private IP. And that flow is absolutely the key here because it means the VM itself is never ever exposed to the public internet. It's completely walled off.
Okay, so we get what it is and how it works. But let's talk about why this is such a game changer. Because the benefits here, they're not just about security. They actually make day-to-day operations a whole lot simpler too.
All right, let's kick things off with the security wins. First off, by yanking that public IP off your VMs, you've instantly slammed the door on port scanning. Gone. All that security work, the patching, the hardening, is now focused on just one place, the Bastion service itself. And because Azure is managing that for you, they're the ones on the hook for protecting it against nasty stuff like zero-day exploits. What you get is a massive, immediate reduction in your attack surface. It's a huge win.
But like I said, it's not just about security. This also makes life so much easier for your team. Remember, it's a platform service, so there's no VM for you to patch or manage. That's time back in your day. It also dramatically simplifies your firewall rules, your NSGs, because you only need to allow traffic from the Bastion service, not from the entire Wild West of the internet. And for your actual users, the experience is totally seamless. It's just a single click right inside the Azure portal. Super easy.
Okay, so Bastion isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Azure actually offers a few different tiers, or SKUs, so you can pick the one that has the right features and scale for what your organization really needs. Let's break them down. This table gives a pretty good overview. You've got the basic SKU, which, gets the fundamental job done. It secures your connection. But as you can see, the standard SKU adds some really crucial operational features. Host scaling, for example, is great if you have a lot of admins connecting at once. And file transfer? That's a must-have for so many workflows. Then you get to Premium, which adds those real enterprise-grade features. The big one there is session recording, which, for a lot of companies, is a hard requirement for compliance and auditing. So let's zero in on the two most popular tiers here. For most organizations, I'd say the standard SKU is really the sweet spot. It gives you that flexibility you're probably going to need. But if you're in a regulated industry or you have super strict compliance rules, then Premium is the obvious choice, no question. That session recording feature by itself can be an absolute game changer when it comes to security audits.
And what about when you need to scale up? Well, with a standard SKU or higher, you can actually scale the Bastion service all the way up to 50 instances. What that means is, even in really large environments with hundreds of admins, Bastion can totally handle the load of all those simultaneous sessions.
It's a solution that can really grow with you.
Okay, so we've covered the problem, we've looked at the solution, and we've walked through the different options. So what's the big takeaway here? What's the bottom line? If you remember just one thing from all this, it should be this. Azure Bastion is all about taking back control over who gets into your network and how they get in.
Let's just boil it all down. Here's why Bastion really matters. Number one, you get rid of that massive vulnerability by taking public IPs off your virtual machines, period. Number two, you simplify your life by creating a single, managed front door for all your remote access. And number three, you get to piggyback on Azure's own security efforts to harden and protect that front door for you. It's really a win-win-win.
And that really brings us to our final question. Knowing just how big the threat is, and honestly, how simple the solution can be, isn't it time you stopped leaving your front door unlocked and finally put a secure, managed gatehouse in front of your cloud environment?